My name is Kieran Neeson, and I am currently an agile coach at W in Dublin. So they're an e-commerce direct-to-consumer company. So just before I went on the program, I had left my previous role where I was director of informatics. That went through a big reorg, and as part of that, my role at the time and the direction I wanted to go with my career didn't really fit with the direction of the reorg, and I took an opportunity to take redundancy. I've been there quite a while, 20 years, and then focus on what I'd started, which was with my coaching badges. And AWA and Simon specifically was recommended to me through a mutual friend called Matt Turner. And I reached out to Simon on LinkedIn, and he recommended the cohort, which was about to start. So he said, yeah, Jim, that sounds like it might be a good fit. And turns out it was. Awesome. The most valuable thing I've got from the cohort is the cohort itself, and that network and the support and the collective wisdom of the group. But the support has been absolutely huge. I think the roles that we undertake as coaches and change agents can be pretty lonely and difficult at times. To in some cases, broken and help people look at things differently, which can come across as contrarian at times, and that can be an isolated position to be in. So being able to tap into the cohort and understand that everyone feels like this and it is very, very difficult has been just its weight in gold. The focus on experimentation really fitted well with me because of my science background and previous role. I love that about agility and surprise change. And that's what I try and encourage mostly in the role I'm in now. I find myself quoting quite a bit the lifeblood of transformation. I extended that slightly where I am now and said, if that is the case, then by definition, the currency we pay for transformation are experiments. So let's start doing more experiments and tracking them and counting them and learning from them. So a big thing for me where I am now, there's a huge emphasis on training. Comment I've made, an observation I've made, is that we do lots of training, but where's the evidence that we're learning? Is not equal to learning. Experimentation is biased towards learning, biased towards declaring what your intentions are, what you expect to see. There's a bias towards action, and then there's a bias towards what you observed. Did that match what you expected? So it's evidence that yeah, you did learn, or even if the expectations didn't meet the result, you've still taken information in to go forward. There's no such thing as a failed experiment, and I think that's really powerful. I toyed with the idea of showing them the actual pattern and the diagram up front. I did with a few people and just focused on the experiments and the templates. And I tweaked the templates subtly for the context of where I am without even them really realizing it. They've been using the enterprise change pattern. There's loads and loads of models and that we typically get introduced to and we hear about. I've got real value from the GROW model. Linking that with experiments has really helped. I found that really, really powerful and a nice structure that keeps things, helps me facilitate things a little easier and bring people along and help them collaborate, actually. Step out of their silos and come together, that being a huge part. So I found that really very powerful. And the feedback I've got from the people I've tried this with, the groups I've tried this with, have reciprocated that and said, yeah, it's awesome. We should do more of this. The biggest thing for me was the support and having conversations with other coaches and other people in transformation and change roles. I've repeatedly recommended a cohort-based course to all of them, and this one specifically will continue to do so. Anyone who's even got an interest in it, you come away a different person. Well, I certainly did. Talk about transformation and change all over the place. Transformations, digital transformation, but underlying all of those titles and labels, it's a human transformation. It's always people, and it's always focused on behavior that drives change or changes to behavior, and that's pivotal. And so I came away a different person than I went in to the cohort, and I was aware of that, and I've taken that with me since. There's all of the stuff that you learn and the content you get to come away with, but it's the people and the relationships and the connections that you come away with that's where the real power is. Things I wanted to achieve, that was the big one, and I thought that's something that I think would kind of define me. It meant that much to me. I thought I kind of got that close to it. So when I managed to get the recognition and the cert and the announcement on LinkedIn, I was like one of the kids really. And I immediately jumped on and changed my LinkedIn so that it was front and center. There you go. And it's hard work. It's not, to turn up and tick a box. To AWA and everyone involved wouldn't be where I am now. It's helping to open doors to conversations that are necessary.